Using the square root property, we're going to solve for x by isolating it. The first problem, x is already isolated, so I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So x equals, when I take the square root, I have plus and minus. Now we can write this as many different answers. Plus and minus radical 18. I can break 18 down. 2 goes into it 9 times. 3 goes into it 3. So I can say x equals plus or minus 3 rad 2 because these are my pairs. Or I can get an estimation and say x is approximately 4.24. Well, what does that mean? That means, oops, I forgot a plus and minus here. At 1, 2, 3, 4 positive, 1, 2, 3, 4 negative, those are my two solutions. And somehow my graph is going to look something like this. One solution, 2. The next problem, I'm going to isolate x. So I'm going to subtract 25 to the other side. So x squared equals negative 25. To solve this, we would take the square root of both sides. Well, can I take the square root of a negative number? And the answer is no. Therefore, I would have no solution. Well, what does that look like? That looks like at something like this right here, my graph is going to go up because my x is positive, but never touch the x-axis. Now, if things were changed just a bit, and the problem was a negative 25 on the left, my first step would be to add 25, and x squared would equal 25. Take the square root of both sides, therefore x would equal a positive and a negative 5. Last problem. Right now my x is isolated, so the first step I'm going to have to do is take the square root of both sides. So when I take the square root of the left, I'm left with an x minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 12. If I want to break that down, that's 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 goes into it once. So x minus 4 equals plus or minus 2 rad 3. Just look at the directions and how they want the answer. The next part is I want the x isolated, so I'm going to add 4 to this side. So x equals 4 plus and minus 2 rad 3. Now, that is an answer, or we can get an estimated value. 2 rad 3 is approximately 3.46. So if I wanted estimated answer so I could draw a graph, I would say 3 plus that and get 7.46, and 4 minus 3.46 and get 0.54. So those are my two estimated values. Those are my two exact values. Again, what does that mean? Just under 1 and between 7 and 8, my graph would look something like that.